Today, the stage lights up for the last time with J-Hope's energy on the street stage, day 2. But there's something else that has made hearts beat faster, the rumor that Taehyung and Jungkook might take the stage to sing alongside him. It's still unconfirmed, and there are no official announcements. But rumors have been circulating since early on. Fans claim to have seen them rehearsing. Voices say they're preparing for a special appearance. And while nothing is certain, just imagining the possibility makes your skin crawl. Can you imagine Taehyung together, sharing the stage with J-Hope on such a significant day? If it were to happen, it would be much more than a simple performance. Because we know how much they love each other, how much they care for each other, and how much they've shared over the years. Seeing them sing together wouldn't just be a gift for ARMY, it would be a silent but beautiful confirmation of that union they've so often tried to hide behind shy glances and subtle gestures. Taekook doesn't need to say it with words. Their story is told with actions. With that kind of connection that can't be faked. They've been by each other's side since the beginning, facing every stage, every challenge, every emotion together. Theirs has been growing by each other's side, looking at each other with the calm of those who feel at home. And in the midst of a night as symbolic as this, seeing them together on stage would be a moment that would be etched in everyone's memory. It wouldn't be the first time Taehyung and Jungkook shared a microphone, but it would be one of the most emotional. Because today isn't just about the music, but about the closing of a chapter. And if they decide to be there, singing alongside J-Hope, we know they'll do so from the heart, as a couple, and as people who truly love each other. Even if it doesn't happen, the mere fact that there are so many rumors speaks volumes. Because he's seen how they look at each other, how they understand each other without speaking. Because it's no longer a secret that Taehyung and Jungkook have something deep, something true, something that transcends friendship. And they cherish it. They protect it. But they also celebrate it, whenever they can. And if they decide to share a song with Hobie this day, it will be more than a performance, it will be a declaration. A way of saying we are here, we are with you, and also we choose each other. J-Hope, for his part, is putting on an unforgettable show. He says goodbye with the same energy, light, and passion that have always characterized him. His every movement vibrates with emotion, every word feels like a caress for ARMY. And amidst such an intimate and special atmosphere, Taekook's appearance would be like a perfect brushstroke in the closing of this important chapter. Maybe it will only remain a rumor. Maybe they will decide not to take the stage this time. But even so, just imagining it shows us how strong their presence is, how much love they generate, and how much they mean to those of us who believe in them. Today we celebrate J-Hope. His career, his talent, his endless dedication. But we also celebrate the possibility, however small, of seeing Taehyung and Jungkook together, as a couple, singing their hearts out on one of the most important stages in their history. And if it doesn't happen tonight, it doesn't matter. Because we know their story needs no confirmation. They're already telling it. In their own way. With respect, with patience, and with love. There are people who still think that what we see between Taehyung and Jungkook is just part of the show. That it's all planned, rehearsed, a simple performance for the public. But, let's be honest, those of us who have followed their story for so long know that there's something much more real and profound between them. It's not just pretty gestures in front of the cameras. What exists between Jungkook and Taehyung is a connection that goes beyond what can be faked. It's evident in the way they look at each other, in the way they seek each other out even when there are many people around them. It's noticeable in the way they touch each other naturally, as if they no longer care who is watching. And that, to me, says a lot. They don't need big words to show how they feel. Their language is in their actions, in the little things they do for each other without giving it much thought. When they're together, everything flows. There's no tension, no doubts. There's only comfort, trust, and a closeness that can't be hidden. And that feels true. Before, these moments between them were rarer, briefer. Sometimes they appeared subtly, as if they were still exploring the closeness that united them. But now, what we see is different. Their bond is more visible, stronger, more constant. They don't try to hide who they are or how they feel when they're together. On the contrary, they seem to feel increasingly free to show it. And that makes me deeply happy. Because, to be honest, not everyone can sustain a relationship so visible and at the same time so authentic. What we see isn't a script. It's something that has grown over the years, that has strengthened over time, and that today shines with a naturalness that can't be faked. One of the things that moves me most about them is the way they understand each other without needing to speak. There's something in their glances, in their silent gestures, that says it all. When they're close, the atmosphere changes. They feel safe, they support each other, they care for each other. They don't do it out of obligation. They do it because they want to, because they have each other, and it shows. There are those who still insist on calling this fan service, as if it's all just to entertain the fans. But there's a big difference between an empty act and a genuine connection. Taehyung and Jungkook don't need to fake what they feel. It's clear that what they share isn't meant for the camera, but is part of their real lives. What I like most about their relationship is that it's not forced. There's no exaggeration, no need to prove anything to anyone. They just are. They accompany each other, support each other, and look for each other with their eyes no matter where they are. Sometimes a touch on the shoulder, a shared smile, or a whispered word says so much more than a full speech. And that's what makes them so special. Over time, they've learned to show themselves as they are. And that also makes me proud. Because it's not easy to live a relationship in the public eye. It's not easy to feel free when everyone is watching. But they've found a way to do it, without fear, without hiding, with respect and affection. I think what we see between Jungkook and Taehyung is love. A love that doesn't need labels, that isn't limited to what others expect. It's a silent but strong love. A love that is built in the small moments, in the knowing glances, in the everyday gestures they share with such sincerity. And that's why, for those of us who follow their story, each of those moments has a special value. They're not just scenes. They're clear signs that their relationship has grown, strengthened, and is more visible than ever. Because what they feel can't be faked or hidden. It's there, present in every appearance, in every interaction, in every detail. Sometimes I think about everything they've been through together, the years they've shared stages, trips, laughter, and even difficult moments. And I realize they're not just bandmates. They're life partners. They have a connection that has stood the test of time, and that's not something you see every day. Seeing them together inspires me. It gives me hope. It reminds me that there are connections that are simply meant to be. That don't need explanations, because they are felt in the heart. And that's what moves me most about them, that their story isn't made of grand words, but of true moments. In a world where everything seems superficial, where many things are just a facade, Taehyung and Jungkook show us something different. Something sincere, real, profound. And that deserves to be recognized. They are not just two artists who shine individually. They are a couple who have found a unique way to be together, to support each other, to love each other. And that, without a doubt, is something worth celebrating.